Marty, you gotta slide over to Bobby.
So Cisco?
Cisco's coming.
And,
Cisco he won't miss much, Marty. He's quite the guy. He's a nice guy.
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Where is rooftop cam? Rooftop cam. There it is.
What do you got, a funeral this morning?
No. I'm just acting like I do. Okay, your mics are on over there, guys, but the show isn't. It's 6 degrees out. 6 degrees, smart thing, there's no school, and the motto here is go back to bed.
Yeah.
Would
All
that
right, let's
be-
leave, guys. I said, let's go back to bed.
You know, Tommy, after the donuts are gone,
Yeah.
wait until, well, you gotta eat all your donuts. When Francisco gets here.
What it really is, we're all grandfathers.
Yeah?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And grandfathers are probably the only ones watching the show,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So 6 degrees, but you guys got remote start in your car?
Yep.
Of course.
I can schedule on my phone at 7:45. It'll go on.
Start the car?
Yeah.
That's smart.
Can you really?
Yeah. Lincoln has this app that.
The vehicle I got, the Hercules, it's a Toyota Sienna,
Yeah.
over 200 grand. I'll have 300 grand on it.
You can't kill them. Take care of the
They just
Toyotas.
keep going and going.
They're really unbelievable.
Decent in the snow.
No,
Marty, you're
no,
gonna be
he's
host
saying-
next, no, Bobby's host next week.
He's saying it's all-wheel drive. I'm just saying it's the worst vehicle I ever had in my life in the snow. I'm telling you, I've been having a hard time with it. I don't know if I
I
have.
had a couple of.
So here you go, kids.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the January 27th edition of the Dawn Patrol. With us this morning, we'll have Sam Meas coming in, candidate for state senator. At some point, he'll be in here. With us, our usual co-host, Marty Lorrey, Bob Hoey, and on his way, hopefully, is Cisco Maldonado. So, guys, we got 1 week to the primary, and they're talking snow from Sunday into Monday. With yeah. So the primary's a week from today. It's going to be an interest. I don't think it's going to be as interesting as people thought it was going to be, but it's Rodney's to lose, I think. But I think he's going to win. But I'm kind of biased. Let's face it. I'm a big supporter. So, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm someone that thinks he's in a dogfight, believe it or not.
Yeah.
The woman has a lot. What's Vanna Howard rather?
Yeah.
She has the big support, I believe, in Belvedere. That's where I live, District 3. It's quiet up there, you know, they don't talk much about politics, but when it comes time to vote, phew, every election I've been in, I only wanted to wait for the results from the Riley. That was it.
Yeah.
I didn't care about any other
Everybody,
poll.
everybody, for elections throughout the years, Riley was the key, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, but Marty's a worker. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? He's the type of guy that has roller skates on.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Marty, how'd you find the roads this morning?
Fine, a little snowy.
Why am I not hearing your mic?
Attaboy.
There we go, I got them on.
Amateur.
They were fine, a little snowy. As I was saying earlier, I saw about 3 plows pulling snow out of driveways, so, you know, people gotta be brushing off their cars. It's gonna happen all day.
So
Hopefully
you came down from Belvedere.
Yeah,
Okay, Bobby, how'd you find the roads?
They were pretty good. Like I said, I was slipping and sliding everywhere, but the main roads were real good. Back roads like my street, side streets, you know they're not going to be perfect yet. You just have to give them time. It's a lot of snow to put away. What did we get, by the way, John?
2 feet.
Gotta be close
2
to
feet.
it, yeah.
I think, that's my take. I think you're 2 feet.
I think
Yeah.
with the rest of it from last night, I think so too.
Mr.
Yeah.
Bumble, how are the roads coming in from the
I
country?
thought they were great. Lakeview Avenue and Drake, it was pretty much, you could see the black pavement, but once I hit Textile Avenue and Lowell, it was still clear, a little snowy, but clear. So yeah, I had no problem. I went to the donut check, I told you, and it was, Westford Street wasn't bad at all.
No.
The thing I think it's killing this is the fact it's freezing. Usually you get a snowstorm, it might warm up to the 30s, it'll stop melting
Yeah,
at all.
it's gonna stay
This is going to
cold.
stick around for a long time, so.
unless you get some
John,
sunlight.
how was your commute in?
Yeah,
I carefully came down the steps, as careful as I could. Thank you. Francisco's on the property.
Okay. Now, did you see, let's go back to that election. Did you guys get this piece of that Rodney sent out regarding Vanna Howard and her limiting your driving? Did you get that in the mail?
Yeah, I don't. Believe it or not, I don't even look at those things. Tom.
Yeah. So it's just
I don't
interesting.
even
her
have
fan base on
See that?
Facebook and social media is trying to push back on this, but it's gonna hurt. It came out and it is what it is. They're saying that it's not gonna raise taxes but I think some of the points are, in the states that they have done it, they've done it through taxes. And I don't know if they're even gonna do it in the state. I think it's gonna be a discussion.
What's next? But what are they going to limit us to do next? Go for a walk? Okay, what's no, really, it's awful. I mean, you can't have a right to drive your car. And
This is the Democrats, though. This
Yeah.
is what they've been doing.
Yeah.
You got this MBTA regulation that you and Drake is gonna be paying for
Well, good afternoon.
next year. And,
Cisco Maldonado's in the house, everybody.
Hey, so-
I just wished him a good afternoon.
Oh, thank you, I hear you, Bob.
You know, I really don't pay attention to the towns, I pay attention to Lowell, you know? And I feel in Lowell, after our general election for city council, and I seen my friend, you know, Eric Gitcher come in second, you know, there's a lot of reasons why he might have come in second, but I feel it was the Democratic City Committee and the movement that's going on right now.
Yeah.
And
it is.
and Dominic Lay, a good friend of this show and a good friend of mine, I asked him, you know, and I tell him all the time, you better not lie to me, right?
Right.
But I said to Dominic, when they go to post, because Rodney has done a lot of work with the Cambodian population over the past 2 or 3 years or
Right.
4 years that I've seen. Nobody's, maybe Rita Mercy are hugging him in front of the Aldina, you know, during Salvation Army stuff, Tom.
Yeah.
You know how Rita is.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And going over to Cambodia. Rodney went over to Cambodia.
Yeah.
But I asked Dominic, I
Rita
said,
did too.
Dominic,
Rita went too.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah. She went first, I believe. But anyways, I asked Dominic this question. Well, Dominic, when the Cambodian people go to the poll for this election coming up, the one we're talking about,
Right.
who are they going to vote for? He says, listen, no matter how much they tried to be friends with the Cambodian people will just vote for the Cambodian.
Right. Right.
And I think
There's
that's,
no doubt.
I think that's what
And I thi-
happened
and
in
I-
our race.
And I think you're
Vesna
right.
Noon,
I think
you
you're
know?
right. I think in the city of Lowell, she, like I say, Belvedere will be her key. Rodney with Pawtuckaville and the other parts of where his district is, he should do fine. But then I think he'll win it in the towns. He will. The towns are. I took a ride through Dunstable, Groton, Pepperell. I don't know if Pepperell's Pep. Anyways, it's Tingsboro, Drake it. Big support.
I'm waiting to hear what Marty has to say.
Yeah.
No, I thought, pretty much like Tom, I thought she'd do well in Belvedere. Rodney'd be on the other side of the river. He's got Corey Robinson working hard for him over
Yep.
there. And I thought the Highlands would be the key. And then I saw the last election. Vesna came in first place because of his vote in the Highlands. And he's very close to Vanna. And then you look at what, I guess it was the Democratic City Committee, they worked very hard for their candidates, how close they came to upsetting Johnny Dakota with Marcus
Yeah.
Candia.
Yeah.
So I think she'll probably do well in the Highlands. But in Drake-it, Tingsboro, I saw she went into Pepperell with Jamie Eldridge. And even though they didn't go into Tingsboro or Drake-it, I don't think Jamie Eldridge is going to help her in those two towns.
No.
He's going to hurt you.
I mean, you have very rarely do you see in Drake people that do not like each other, and I say don't even speak to each other, and they're supporting Rodney. It's amazing. Usually they'll go against anybody that Tony Achinsky's with, or anybody that Joe DeRocca. Everybody's supporting Rodney out there.
I'd like to see it, Rodney against Joe Espinola.
Yeah.
That would be quite a race.
That's gonna happen in the fall.
That's what I'm saying. I can't wait for that because Joe's a likable guy and he's from Lowell.
That may happen in April.
It's going to March.
In March, because if Rodney wins, they have to have the first election in March.
Yeah, March
And then they
3rd.
have to pull the papers in April for next November.
See, the primary, John, is February 3rd, and the election is March 3rd.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's also going
So-
to even it out for all those candidates because the incumbents or the representatives are going to, they're spending a lot of money. So they're probably not going to have as much money as any new candidate coming into the race. So they're all going to have empty coffins,
Right.
So it's going to be interesting.
And if-
I think Rodney's going to win.
If that storm comes up next week, and it could be a major storm again, what happens next Tuesday? And I see on social media, Vanna supporters are working very hard to get people to ask for ballots.
There's no early voting this year, huh, in this
No.
race? Wow.
It's just
But
bad.
why should we have early voting for a party contest? Who gets elected?
Yeah.
Nobody.
But I think it's just convenient for some people. That's what I meant.
Well,
Yeah,
party
I-
election should
Getting you.
shouldn't
there's
even
no
have
big-
mail-in.
There's no big difference between early and mail-in. It's pretty much the same.
I don't trust
You know,
mail-in.
For convenience, it's all.
I like to
it's
put my
the same.
Well,
ballot
I
right.
think it's going to be huge because if this storm does come in Monday night or Monday into Tuesday, people, if they had the chance to do early voting this week, would.
Yeah.
I would be there by Friday.
Yeah.
Or Saturday. I don't know when the limits are, but I would have voted this week.
Oh, me too. My wife and I would have been there today. Whatever.
Yeah.
Just convenient. And
It is.
Yeah, Vanna Howard, I've seen the support in Belvedere grow from Brian Martin and I won't give more names, but.
Brian must be looking for a new job, huh?
Well,
Brian's
no.
a big supporter.
Yeah, he has been for years.
Yeah.
He was district manager under Nikki. He worked as the
I
district
mean,
manager.
But you know what else?
political jobs does the man have? I mean,
I know Belvedere isn't the whole thing, but it's an important part of our city, no doubt about it, when
Yeah.
it comes to voting. And I looked at Belinda John's race,
Yeah.
too. She'll be Vanna Howard, supporting Vanna Howard. And that woman there, she was.
Well, right by her house. Who
Well,
signs in
listen,
front?
I'm just saying, I've met Belinda a few times, even though I was
Smart
working
woman.
for Danny at the time.
What do you base that on,
But-
Bobby?
I
That she's a
base
supporter.
it on I see it on Facebook.
Oh,
okay,
okay, all right.
Most of the
All right.
things I see, and then when I see my sister Ronnie, and I love her to death, Ronnie, Ronnie Hoey, all for Vanna
She's
Howard.
really.
Well,
Yeah.
it's just the way the city is right now.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a tight, really tight race.
Yeah.
No doubt in my mind.
Okay.
One of the age groups that have made
Let me
a,
just ask you guys this question, okay? You stand in front of your house with a strawberry ice cream and you go, strawberry ice cream, strawberry. How many people are going to change flavors when they go to the ice cream stand?
Sometimes.
no.
Oh,
Sometimes.
I don't think so, Bobby. I don't. It's saying that I'm for Santa Claus and you're for the Easter Bunny.
Yeah.
I don't think people are going to switch their vote.
I've been
Let's say
saying
that
it
ice
for
cream.
years.
I got an ice cream story to tell you guys. I love pistachio ice cream. I went to Market Basket, 3 Market Baskets, Hannaford's. There's no pistachio ice cream. So my wife Googled it.
That's the sisters. The sisters did that.
There's a shortage on pistachios, I guess. That's why there's no pistachio ice cream.
Does that mean the price is going to go through the roof?
Oh, man.
One of the things you always hear, and I've been saying this for years, we've got to get more people to vote. We got to get more. They really don't care how many people vote. They get their own vote out. Let's be honest. That's what it's about. Vanna's crowd is going to do what they need to do to get that vote out.
Yep.
We saw it in the Highlands race with Marcos Candido. We saw it with Vesna. They're going to get their vote out. Now, I think Rodney does much the same. One of the age groups that flies under the radar here is 30 to 45, maybe 50. I thought they made the difference in Danny Rourke beating Rodney. I thought they were huge in that Finn election.
Yeah.
I thought Jenman would get it. When I said it on the radio, Danny told me he was chuckling. I didn't know he had kids in high school, football coach.
Yeah.
So Danny's kids have already been through the city.
The school system?
Yeah, the school systems and the sports and everything else. And so Danny and his wife are well known. Jimmy Casella was the same way. The Casellas, very well known between that 30 to 45 age group, and they vote. And so I think whoever gets that, and it could be Rodney, it could be Vanna, I don't know, but that's a big voting block.
Well, you mentioned Jimmy Casella. Well, you mentioned the Casellas, and
Absolutely.
yeah, Cisco would probably know better than most of us because he worked with him in the police department. You're not going to meet many guys like Jimmy Casella. Jimmy once you meet him, you got to like him.
The whole family.
And he worked so hard for her.
Yeah.
And I never realized, excuse me, how many towns. Her race is huge.
Yeah.
You know, when you're the guy in the truck going to deliver
And
coffee to
she
everybody.
won soundly. She didn't win. She won that race
Well,
soundly.
I
and
think she won the same way Rodney's going to win.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to look and say, well, Rodney's been around a long time.
Well, who do you
Experience.
Want to fight for? Who do you want to fight for? Because I'll ask Vanna right to her face. Give me 3 things you've done. Oh, no, that you've done, not you signed on to. You rode in the backseat of the car. What have you done? I think it's nothing.
I mean, I spoke to a few people that have gone out to hear her for the first time, and they're getting tired of hearing the poor me stuff and this and that. They want to actually hear, what are you going to do for us as voters? So, I mean, the voters are being more demanding on their candidates and saying, look, I don't care about our culture, what struggles you went through. What are you going to do for me right now?
Yeah.
The fact that people are hurting financially, I think, is going to play on. I'm just curious who, out of those 2 candidates in the Democratic on primary, who would Joe Espinola wish wins? Because that would make Vanna.
Yeah.
So if Vanna would win, Joe would probably have a really good chance of getting elected.
I think
not that it's going to go that way. We possibly can, but I mean, Joe would be like ecstatic if she won. You know.
So you got the primary on February 3rd, and you got the election on March 3rd. Let's pretend Rodney wins, or let's pretend Vanna wins.
Yeah.
Their state rep seat opens up in September in the primary. It'll be interesting to see who wins for those seats.
You'll know because they can pull papers in April.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's going to be limited to Joe or Sam Meas.
I mean, people are talking about that. Let's just say Rodney or Vanna doesn't win. They're going to be they'll run again. One of them running at the other person in September. I don't think that's going to happen. I think
Vanna's already got an opponent if she loses.
Yeah.
From
She
what
what?
I understand,
Say that again, what?
Vanna, yeah,
She what?
has an opponent.
Corey
okay.
Belanger, maybe?
No,
I heard
I guess
that
he's
was
a fireman.
Oh
Yes,
yes.
that's-
I heard-
He
Yeah,
said he's
Corey
going to win.
Belanger has said he wants to run it. He
Yeah.
wants to run
Yeah.
for state senate.
Ronnie has an opponent right now that's running actively. Loretta Betts is running
for his seat.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
I don't
she's-
know her.
Yeah, she's very active.
Loretta
Yeah.
Betts.
Yeah.
I don't know her.
Betts, I
But
think.
wouldn't it be like a person? You think a guy like Danny Rook would get in the race? Pawtuckaville guy.
He'd lose money.
That's true. Good point.
You know, you look
That's
at
true. That's
people
right.
with
You would
this-
take a pay cut. Yeah.
Yeah, you take a pay cut, and he'd be a formidable candidate.
Yeah.
This-
I was talking to him on Saturday, and I kidded him about this. Oh, no, I'm happy where I am. He says, in fact, he says, we got to get together for a drink now that I'm not as busy as I was.
I used to tell people, they'd say, oh, I want to run for the city council, and they'd be young, and they'd say, why? Wait till a state rep seat opens up and runs for state rep. You don't get dragged into the minutia of all these city issues. If you win, you probably won't have an opponent. The only one who ever had an opponent every year was in the Highlands, Ratty Mom.
Yeah.
One of the nicest people I ever met, and every year Ratty had an opponent. And
nice,
I think-
nice guy, but he just was not an effective legislator. He didn't.
Right.
He didn't. He wouldn't. I used to hear it. He didn't answer constituents. He didn't. I don't know. I mean, I just don't get it.
And
And,
think-
I'm telling you, John's good friend Tommy Golden even said he's talked to him. Ratty, you got to get out there and talk to your constituents. And I don't know.
I think Sakari Chow's going to challenge for this seat this year.
For the kid.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
I think so.
forget
That was
his
one of
name.
my predictions. I think Sakari, everything Sakari's done, he's done well with class.
Yeah.
He represents,
Oh.
and the young man in the Highlands is one of the classiest young guys I ever met. I don't agree with him much. He's part of that, I think, more the left wing.
You mean Tara Hung?
Tara Hung.
Tell me, I forgot his name.
And
yeah.
he's the nicest. He's the nicest kid you'd ever want to meet. A real gentleman, classy, but again, he votes on the side that I don't agree with.
Yeah.
And I think Sakari would be much more moderate.
Yeah.
And I think, again, everything Sakari's done, he's done with class.
Well, if you're going to be an incumbent state rep, it's got to be the first term. After that, like you said, not too many people. I mean, I don't think Rodney's had any opposition. Vanna Howard hasn't had opposition.
No one knows how they vote.
Yeah.
Every Monday, the Lowell Sun puts the State House in the paper, who voted, how they voted. How many people know that there was a bill for the people who haven't met the MBTA
Yeah,
requirements
I saw that.
to
I
extend
read
it
that.
one more year?
I read that.
Yeah, both Rodney and Vanna voted against it.
Beacon Hill report. Yeah.
Yep, Colleen, Gary supported it.
Yeah.
And Jerry Nutter did an article, and he compared their voting records. I think they're pretty much identical.
Yeah, they're pretty much the same.
Yeah. You know, God bless Jerry, he gets into it. And, but yeah, he, even this bill here, Vanna comes and says, well, yeah, I supported it and I co-signed it. When was the last time you took the train to Boston?
Mm.
You know?
Yeah.
They drive in, the state reps all drive in, nothing against Vanna.
Well, they get free
But even
parking.
in Boston, they drive in, they get
Yeah,
parking
yeah.
and everything, and they get mileage.
Mm.
They get a per diem,
Yeah.
so they drive.
You know,
They were saying about, I don't know, when my good friend Phil Shea passed away about a month ago, Phil was the first city councilor, state rep, senator. Rodney now will have four. He'll have, if he wins city councilor, mayor, state rep, and state senator. So it's
Yeah.
going to be, yeah.
You know, I work for quite a few people in my lifetime. I like it. I enjoy it. I can't think of any race that had people against her was Karen Casella. She killed them. She really did. I didn't expect that. I was like, whoa, you know. But the guy you mentioned, the ex-mayor.
Sakari.
Yeah. he has a few guys that are very popular that work for him. I think one of them was at the Gloves the other night. I can't think of his name.
Who, Rodney?
Kevin Coughlin?
Kevin Coughlin.
Yeah.
And
That
Rodney-
group, Kevin Murphy. There's a big group.
Wait a second, Sakari lives in his house, Coughlin's house.
No, I know.
Know that?
Who?
I didn't know that.
I know enough to be dangerous, but that's what I was told. Sakari lives in Coughlin's house.
So
know,
that's
I
up
don't-
on, he lives up on B Street, doesn't he?
Oh, they're close friends.
They're very close friends.
But Sakari rents a house off of
Oh, I
Coughlin.
didn't know that. And going back to what Rodney said about how Sakari is, great guy, gentleman. If Karen wasn't in that race, he probably would have won the thing. If Karen Casella didn't run.
I thought the
think
key to
Sakari-
her race was, that was her second time
yeah.
on the ballot.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Once you're on the ballot, people see your name.
But she was qualified.
Oh, she was.
That guy we mentioned, he came up to me at the Golden Gloves.
Kevin's
He
a great guy.
Well, he come up to me and thanked me, and congratulated me, and I'm like, for what? Cameron's race, because
Yeah.
they wanted that seat bad.
Mm,
I don't know why, because there's not that many jobs left in it. There's only about 10 employees.
It's HR for the state.
It's-
Big job you get is that assistant, and that's
Listen.
it.
You want to be the
Well,
registrar of motor vehicles or don't you?
I
Make
know-
up your
I
mind.
know one thing about the Registry of Deeds. I have people very close to me that did 30 years in that place.
Yeah?
It was terrible.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
No, it was terrible. A small union that doesn't have a lot of people. The union I was in, we had 5,000 members.
Yeah.
Or postmen, how many members of the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It brings power.
Yeah.
We were right under the executive branch of government in this state, prison guards.
Yeah.
We almost
Yeah.
demanded what we wanted in the 70s and 80s. We'd do a strike,
Well, the unions have a lot of power. Their bosses just say, go and vote today. Well, who am I going to vote for? Vote for Tom Bomil. Okay.
No, that doesn't work that way anymore. Believe me, I did our
What, unions?
legislative work.
You mean tell unions?
Yeah.
No, that, I
And-
don't think that
Well,
works.
Marty, how else would you know it's voting
excuse
day?
me, let me finish, John. We'd back someone like John Kerry. And I'd asked employees, when I see them, hey, will you support Kerry? And they just look at you. The union doesn't have the support. They can do endorsements, but they don't always have the rank and file, especially in municipal or government unions. They just don't get it.
How would you know to vote, Marty?
How would I know?
How would you know it's voting
I
day?
pick up the paper and I read the issues.
How does the average voter know?
I think they do the same thing. That's why people are leaving the Democratic Party, John. They look what's going on in the state, and they've left the party in droves. They're sick of this move to the left down there, and they're not happy with it. And you can't really change it now because so many of us have left the party. You can't run as a delegate to the Democratic convention. So the progressives are going to take the delegates, and someone like the state auditor is a great candidate if she runs for governor. There'll be so many progressives as delegates, she won't get the 15% to get
I
on
just
the
want to
ballot.
put this out to the public that we can't talk electoral politics because the public access stations get their underwear in a knot. Can't talk electoral politics Monday and Tuesday, so we'll be talking
Electoral?
about it.
What do you mean?
Well,
We can't talk about the Senate race
Next Tuesday.
on Monday
Oh,
or
that's, oh,
Tuesday
no.
Yeah.
because it's an electoral, and they don't want us talking about any election that's going 48
But
hours.
Tuesday's election day.
That's why I'm saying we can't talk about it
On the
Monday or
show.
Tuesday.
Really? Now on the radio
No, we're
On-
not the radio. We're public access.
yeah.
That's LTC, because Drake,
No, Drake, it's same thing.
I thought John Zimmerman, when he had his shows, would talk about the elections
No,
in Drake.
Gary Muse will send me
Really?
a very
Wow.
nice reminder, and so will Brian out in Tewksbury. He's going to send me a
Wow.
nice reminder. Roney will tell me, Vila will tell me, don't talk about election politics.
I know Monday you can't, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it's off limits.
So they can't talk about it on CAP
No,
show.
we can talk about it on Saturday and Sunday, but we can't talk about Monday and Tuesday.
Well, I thought you could talk about it, you just couldn't have the candidates on.
How about if I'm in Puerto Rico? Can I talk
Ever
about it?
But ever since I've been doing the show with John for 10 years, it's been that we couldn't talk. It's a boring show next Tuesday. We have to let's talk
We'll talk about bananas and
Yeah,
ice
yeah.
cream.
No, you can-
strawberry ice cream,
You guys,
pistachio ice cream.
I'll
you know?
call in from Puerto Rico if I make it. It'll-
Well, you can do a sports show, the Patriots are in the Super Bowl.
Are you going next week, Puerto Rico?
I'm going on Monday. I'm scheduled to fly out Monday night.
Now, let me ask you this question. Because there's an ad on 1010 Windsor, New York. In Puerto Rico, if you can hear the music of a party next door, that means you're invited to the party. Is that true?
Pretty much, you can go to any party you want out there. The culture welcomes everyone. So
That's what she says. If you can hear the music, you're invited to the
you
party.
need to show up. The problem is, in those communities, like in the community that my father comes from, every other house is a family member. They're very close. Like,
Yeah.
because back then, most of them come from farm families, so they all distribute some of their property to each other's and family, and they all have houses within each, walking distance.
Sure.
Run down there.
Yeah.
know,
yeah.
And we're talking about the state reps. And I'm sure Marty remembers this.
So
back in the
Cisco,
old
you're
days.
not going to be here next week.
No, I'm not going to be.
Understood.
Weather, you may fly
Yeah,
out
no,
Saturday.
I might.
I'll fix the calendar.
Yeah.
Marty, when Chelmsford had their own rep, Tewksbury had their own rep, Barica. Mark Crapman told me the other day that he has, in Tewksbury, they have 4 state reps representing different parties. Awful. He said,
They did that when they,
when they cut the reps
redistrict.
down to 160. Or whatever
They-
it was. Yeah.
the most liberal member of the House was in Chelmsford and was the only woman.
Yeah. Carol Clevin.
Carol Clevin.
Yeah.
And they district her out for Tommy Golden, to move Tommy Golden's in. So he had a piece of Chelmsford. Kevin had a piece of Chelmsford.
Yeah.
Dave Nango's seat had a
I think
piece
Rodney
of
has a
Tewksbury.
piece of Tewksbury. I think Rodney has a piece of Chelmsford.
Yeah, he does. He has
Yeah.
a small piece. And they really gerrymandered around here.
Yeah.
But, yeah, at one time, Lowell had what? Leo Farley in Centerville.
Yep. Phil Shea in the Highlands.
Phil Shea.
Eddie Lasher up in parts of Belvedere. And
Bobby Kennedy
yeah.
was down in the Acre.
Eddie Early.
Eddie Early,
Ray
yeah.
Rock.
Ray Rourke.
That's the old days of politics. Yeah.
Lowell had a bunch of state
A
reps.
lot of
and
fun in those days, though. A lot of fun.
I think Ray Rourke is the only guy ever to, as a freshman, become mayor.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
think
you're
he
right.
became mayor.
You're right.
He was so well respected.
Yeah. And it's just like I say, the old days are gone of politics. And you'd have your rep. You knew your rep, and now you have people that know who the rep is. You know,
When I did the Syrian Lebanese exhibit for the National Park, I did it for the Morgan Center. I was doing interviews, and one was Bob Hayden.
Yeah.
Bob ran for
Hate him, you love him.
Congress.
Hate him, you love him. That was the slogan.
But he was telling me he worked for the governor at the time. Bob was a Republican, I think. And Ray Rourke was the head of the transportation in the state, Secretary of Transportation. So when they built 495, they wanted to go from Lawrence through Lowell. Of course, Bob and Ray wanted that, you know. They wanted those two cities connected. But Bob said, look at 495, how straight it is. And that was in the 60s during the Cold War when they had all these. And he says they made it so if it needed to be a landing strip, they could do that too. And it was Bob that told me, and we did it in an interview that's down at the Mogan. But 495 got built straight. So if they had to use that as a landing for planes, they could.
Yeah. And like you say, you're a state rep or a congressman. I mean, the last sitting congressman to be defeated, I think, was Chet Atkins, right? And before that was Paul Cronin.
Paul Cronin got beat.
And I've been living in Drake over 40-something years. I've had 2 state reps, Nick Lambros and Colin Gary. The reps just stay. They don't,
Because they do.
No, I'm just saying, but I'm just saying.
Constituent service, you're not going to beat Colleen Gary.
Absolutely, longevity of state reps, but it's, and can Trahan be beat? Can Laurie Trahan be beat?
It'd be
She
tough.
should be.
Everett Gitcher might
What's
be
she
the
done?
only one right now that could beat her.
What's Laurie done?
I can't. I don't know. Maybe Marty knows. I don't know.
There's no Republicans in the state. As much as I say people pouring out of the Democratic Party, they've lost members too. And but no one's joining the Republican Party. They want to stay independent. So and they just don't run for office.
No, right.
Well, they got 3 running for. I wish one would back off and run for lieutenant governor, or one would run for Congress.
Yeah.
But you have 3 people looking to become governor.
Yeah.
Tommy, could you get into your Lowell Sun account this morning?
Yeah.
I can't get into mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to see more of like, I'm the type of guy that wants to see some action. AOC, Cisco's relative, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah.
I'm not sure,
my
but
Puerto Rican girlfriend.
I'm telling you, because of her, just being a female and her looks will take her a long way in this race. She's
Really?
going to hurt somebody.
Schumer.
She'll run.
She's going to check out Schumer.
Yeah.
And she might be the Democrat nominee. She's going around the country with Bernie Sanders.
Yes, exactly.
And
You
Bernie-
noticed that, huh?
Oh, Bernie Sanders was the leading vote getter in 2016, 2020, until the Democratic Party stopped him, the superdelegates. He was far and away, he had the most delegates. Well, I think Bernie has turned the page and a little bit too old to run now, even though he's healthy as a horse. AOC will be that candidate.
Well, and they do. They got to. The Democrats have to come up with a new, young candidate. The Republicans have to, like a Vance,
Yeah.
young candidate. So, I mean, now, do you think this is all political newspaper spin about Trump starting to maybe have some health issues, losing it a bit, or is it all spin?
I think it's hopeful wishing
Yeah.
from some people.
It's all
He
spin.
can't run again, so.
Democratic media in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
But look at Channel 5. They just look. I mean, those cameras are shooting 400 frames per second. Now, back when I used to do media stuff,
Yeah.
I'd interview somebody on video to make a good picture of them. Because I knew I was because the cameras I had was shooting 100 frames per second.
Wow.
And so I could get a nice, I'd just do 1 frame at a second till I got a nice expression of you. Channel 5, they have 400 frames per second. They're going to inch through each frame until they find a lousy picture of you. In fact, I have a good one from LTC. I'll give them a dope slap. Give me a second. I'll find it. It proves it.
It's
One
beautiful.
thing, you look at what's going on in the country that's not going to help the Democrats. In 2020, they made the cops the worst enemy in the country, and that was the Democratic Party who did it. They ran against the cops, and it was brutal. Now they're going right back to the same playbook, only it's ICE. When you run against someone, you want to demonize, and they've demonized ICE. Just the term ICE, and how. If you're watching the show today, Google California, Texas, and Florida. They're the 3 biggest states with deportations right now. Where's the protest? It's
Right.
all in one city, one block. And there was a guy on, I was reading the interview, he runs this organization where they get protesters for you. They hire protesters, and he won't touch this. And they're being paid.
Yeah.
And I've heard that for years. Now I'm really wondering, are these people being paid? But look at the deportations the last 2 months, California, Texas, Florida. Where the protest? They're all in Minnesota. And when you come out of that area in Minnesota, they're still deporting people in other areas that you're not reading about.
Right.
But the media has given them the full attention. And now I'm hearing, and someone said to me, well, they killed that guy. I said, anytime you have an interaction with the police and you go there with 2 guns, okay, and you get involved in an arrest, nothing good's going to come out of that. It's just not.
Marty, you wanna read this one?
Yeah, I think, Michael, she's looking for it. I think she's going to take out Schumer. But when you look at the Democratic Party now, who else is going to run? And you have to get the progressives on your side in that party now.
Yeah.
I don't
Thanks,
know
Mike.
if they'll take a moderate.
If
Well,
Sh-
a great
if
guy, Mike Hayden.
Is Schumer up for re-election this year?
I think he is.
Oh, so she'll have to make a decision.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
and-
can't see her doing both, but I think she'll either take him. I don't think see her win a Senate seat and then run for president. I can't see it.
She told him she's gonna.
Yeah.
He's gone, and the Republicans are saying on the news he's toast. And it's the progressives have taken over that party.
I heard
But-
Ed Markey retiring, right? Or not running. Have you heard that?
No, I haven't heard
I've
that
seen
one.
that somewhere.
Yeah.
He's running.
He's running.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
Okay.
he's got Seth Moulton running against him.
He'll
But
run,
is-
and he'll run, and he'll retire, so
But
there's
did
a
he announce
special election.
re-election? I mean, that's a
Yeah.
I think, honestly, I think anyone with the progressive agenda, the win in New York has solidified their platform.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
they're going solid with it. They're going to go out there this year and run for every seat possibly, so that they can get their candidate in the White House. That's what's going to happen. And it looks like they're getting ahead with the voter turnout. They're getting these very progressive, 25-year-old kids out to vote, and they're winning local elections, and that's just going to go right into congressional elections. Very easy for them to take the White House if they continue with the platform that's working for them right now.
Do you think the younger progressive kids are going to, in Massachusetts, for example, will vote for Moulton or Markey because they want a younger person in there?
I think he's on board with them, so I think Markey will
Really?
get
Okay.
involved. Yeah.
He
I
beat
think
Kennedy.
Yeah.
He beat Kennedy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because I just think we were saying earlier, I think the Democrats and the Republicans have to come up with some younger candidates. I think the dream team would be Vance and Rubio in 2 years from now for president. But
John McDonough was a big part of that race, Kennedy and Markey. His show, right, sitting here, almost like the way he talks about our city manager. When he said, "Bye, Ed. Bye, Ed." He said it out loud on the show.
But see, if Markey's gonna pull that retirement stunt, what the Boston media should do, but the Boston media has no nads. They got no gumption, they got no courage. Should say, okay, Senator, will you serve your entire term? If you do not, will you donate your campaign fund to the Boston Soup Kitchen? That's what you say to the guy. Because he's going to walk, he's got $50 million in his reelection account. He's going to give it to the Boston, if he doesn't run, if he retires, he's going to give it to the Boston Soup Kitchen. Put that out there. And that's going to stop him right in his tracks.
That if you're watching this, I'm trying to think of the name of the. I used to bring it up on the radio all the time. Is the organization that watches federal donations? I think it's called Dark Secrets or Open Secrets. So if you're Googling it, I'll do it at break. And what you can do is see where the money is going to. And it was funny because when I was doing it on the radio, I was watching where the money's going. And a lot of these large nonprofits across the country, of course, they can't make donations, but their employees were all donating into the Democratic Party. So when they went after USA Jobs, I was just amazed at the blowback. But I think it's called Open Secrets, and that will tell you who's donating to who, where the money's going, and it was. I know one on John's show about 2 years ago. I talked about OPCF here, and John went on. We looked at Maura Healey's accounts and who was donating. It's telling when you look at the donations, who's donating to who, where the money's coming from. So.
Well, we got 20 minutes. I can do that. You want me to go to?
If you want, you can look at it.
What do you want me to look at?
Oh, it doesn't matter. You could take any
I can go to the
candidate.
Office of the Political Finance.
Yeah, Office of Political Finance, yeah.
You say we were talking about Kennedy running. You see where Caroline Kennedy's son's running for Congress in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That name's not golden like it used to be. But
she's sick, too.
Yeah. Caroline's sick?
I think so. I
Oh.
thought I saw something in the paper. She's having some health issues. And, the name doesn't help you anymore.
No, it used to be big,
And, no, it's just...
So Marty, the governor is going to run again.
Oh, she says...
You got that wrong.
No, not yet. Joe Biden said he was running,
Yeah,
and I
you're
predicted
right,
a
yeah.
year
Good point.
prior.
Good
That
point.
he's not going to run. Maura Healey's going to hit a lot of bump in the roads. And with 3 Republicans running, she has the guy out in Springfield with the drugs and the gun, who was part of her staff.
Mhm.
She had, I don't know how many people resign or leave her cabinet. The last one was that transportation.
Yep.
And that hurt her. I think, and then they're running those commercials where she's talking about the cost of everything. And I think they call it affordability now. And she took credit as Attorney General for running 2 gas lines out of the state. Now she's trying to say she didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a political year.
Yeah.
Donald Trump, Republicans are going to turn on Donald Trump this year.
Oh,
Because they're running across the country for their own seats.
Yes.
Trump can't run again, so he's lame
Yeah.
duck.
Yeah.
So,
And
Marty,
did this
what button do I push here?
Browse candidates. Now, a column should come up on your left. There you go. Now, you could take any one of those or put in any name you want.
Put it at Markey.
Yeah, put in Ed Markey just for kicks. though he may be federal. I don't know if he'll show up here.
No,
All right,
No, he
all right.
won't show up.
He only falls under the federal.
Yeah,
Oh.
they fall under federal. Maura Healy, put Healy in. I don't want to
is that how
embarrass.
she spells it?
Yeah, there she
Yeah,
is at
that's
the
how
bottom.
you spell it, yeah.
Go all the way to the bottom. There she is. Now you can put, go to the top.
There's a summary at the bottom. Right
Yeah,
there.
that's what
Just-
you got to go to financial summary.
Where's
Usually it's
that?
at the top.
Just
Oh,
scroll
go up to
down.
reports, John.
No, next to it, right? Contributions. or something?
Contributions, yeah, go there. Usually it used to be under reports. There you go.
We
There you go.
Let's go by city. That doesn't want to sort this
No,
out.
it won't. But this tells you, you can tell the people, and a lot of people give $5, $10, then you see the
She's
major.
got 21 million bucks.
Holy cow!
Yeah,
Yeah.
Is that right here?
Yeah, that's the, yeah.
21 million bucks.
Yeah, she has aspirations to be president, I believe. I believe she thinks
I think
that.
she wanted to run for the Senate afterwards. They're all looking at Elizabeth Warren and Markey when they're gonna leave, and they're all kind of jockeying. Yeah,
Interesting.
Anybody want me to look? I don't see any Lowell people.
no.
I'm sure you will.
Look at the name of the towns, though. They're all pretty prestigious towns with money.
Jamaica Plain, North Andover,
Yeah,
and she got a lots. And it won't let me sort by city.
no, it doesn't. You have to go right through.
Anybody else want me to look up?
No, it's just to show people how easy it is to look.
And it's called
Yeah.
the Office of Political Finance,
Finance. Yep.
Massachusetts.
Campaign and Finance, OPCF. And, yeah, it just gives your viewers an idea how easy it is to go in and look at where the donations are coming from. And the federal one is it's open secrets. And you would Google that and you could get right into
Do
open
Howard.
secrets.
Howard, go.
And that's a
do what they say.
nonprofit, Open Secrets.
Well, if I do
runs on
Howard, then I got to
donations.
do
right,
Rodney,
yeah,
then I got to
let's-
do
Yeah,
Sam Meas.
Yeah, all right, forget about it.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not going to pick on one candidate.
That's
No,
why I
I
say
gotcha.
people watching they're looking at the Healy and they don't know who these
Yeah.
people are. But it's just a training for
But she's
viewers.
Haley's gonna get us $20 back every year on our electric costs.
John, I had asked you this question earlier, and as the producer of the show, and I had said about
Yes, if I don't know the answer, I'll make it up like Gary.
if and it's related to that. So, if Rodney Elliott and Vanna Howard were here today on this show, and I think you said we wouldn't have to, would Cisco and I have to recuse ourselves from the discussion because we're
No.
Rodney supporters?
No, because you could, the last minute, walking into the campaign to vote, you can change your mind.
All right, because I was told by somebody that on the radio station that two of the
Was it Flaming Pants Foscarelli?
no, this was actually Rita Mercier told me this story that I guess what's his name
Then she could never be there.
Jim.
Rita could never
Jim-
be there.
what's his
Shanker.
name? Shanker and Sam gave money to
Vanna Howard.
Vanna Howard. So you heard that story then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
when I used to do the debates, you never really. I went to 2 fundraisers over the years because I wasn't doing debates. I didn't know if I would, and that was Eric Kitchier and Johnny Dakota. And other than that, I stayed away from donations and fundraisers.
Yeah.
When I was
Marty,
doing the
the Office of Personal Finance, can I look up who you've donated to?
what's that
Can I look up by
I
donator?
think you can.
for who?
In other words, can he
For
look up
anybody.
who you've donated? I think you can, can't you? Say
Yes,
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look me up. I give money like it's going out of style.
No, I didn't cut checks. I went to Eric's, I went to Johnny's, and maybe one of Rita's a few years ago before I was doing it.
And I used to
But
go
once
to
I started doing or thought I'd be doing the debates that year, I stayed away from it.
But you got to admit this one. And I used to go to a mall in Drake, and when I was involved with all, you go to the political parties and you see the same people at the same parties.
Yeah.
It's,
Oh, yeah.
I'll see you at Eric's party, Dakota's party, Cisco's party, Bobby's party. That's what I tell my wife. It's just like, yeah, I'm sick of it. I'll give them money. I'll donate to candidates who I support. And,
Yes.
I look at Facebook, all I see is unions backing Rodney.
Yeah.
Rodney's
Yeah.
getting some huge union supports.
Yeah.
Well,
And
like you said before, the unions don't get bossed around anymore.
They,
Do as they please.
municipals don't. It's funny, when you're in the trade unions, that's a different ballgame, like Jeff Thomas.
Yeah.
They'll actually show up, they'll hold signs. I think if you're a union member, you have to do so many hours of work for the union. I'm not sure how it runs, but the trades who have a contract every 6 months or a year, they're much more active.
Yeah.
So those will help Rodney.
I want to give a shout out to the mayor, the new mayor,
Eric Gitchia.
I mean, there was nobody bigger supporter than my man right here,
Wow,
Eric
really?
Gitchia. But on Inauguration Day, I must have went to bed early because I was doing a show. I got a phone call, and it was Eric Gitchia, and all he said was just thanking me for all my kind words about him. That's class. I mean, he took the time out of his new schedule to do that. And I thought that was a very classy act. I did nothing for the guy. I mean, I like Eric. I talk him up. I've donated to him, but nobody bigger than my man right here.
No, there's quite a few people that were important. Cisco was a big supporter of Eric Gitchia. Many of us just you
But
need
that was a
that.
class act. That was a class act.
You need people to be out there
Yeah.
trying to get your friends to vote for them.
Yeah.
If
Eric,
you
I'll
can.
say it, I tell everybody, you see what you get with Eric, just like you see what you get with George Taylor and Drake. You're not going to get. He's not going to change or waffle on anything. I've never seen Eric waffle on an issue.
No.
You know, I always had some arguments with the Lowell Sun over the years. I can go back to Mike Gallagher when he was on the school committee. He got 2,500 signatures. 2,500
Yeah, I
signatures
remember that. Yeah.
to be on the ballot for the school committee. That to me, it just blew me. I said, "What is this? How can a person get that many signatures?" Another Vanna Howard supporter. I mean, they add up when you got people like us. You get more of them. You know, that's how you need support.
But, I saw her ad, Nikki Songus, and I worked in Nikki's campaigns for years, and,
She's with Vanna, right?
yeah.
She ran a
What,
party.
does she live in Lowell anymore?
She
I don't
doesn't
know.
live
She
in
ran a-
Lowell.
she
Well,
ran a
she has
party
a
down-
house in Lowell, but she doesn't live in Lowell.
No.
She
So,
didn't
I
live in
mean,
Lowell before either. You know?
and, you're getting endorsed by, I call him the spaceman, Jamie Aldridge.
I don't know where she's
And
living.
the guy's just all over the place, and he's not going to help even Drake and Tingsboro.
No. But she actually ran a party for Vanna, I think, down at the Athenian, didn't she?
Oh, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah,
women. It was called Women for
Vanna.
Vanna. Yeah.
Vanna worked for Nikki for years, and actually Vanna was very good. She did the immigration and things like that, and Vanna was very effective, and she worked for Nikki for years.
Yeah.
Nikki had a good staff, and but my point is, I don't think Nikki lives in the city anymore. So
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I didn't know she moved out. Yeah.
yeah, I thought she moved, and I thought she did.
Did she remarry? I don't know. I know she was pretty steady with it. Doesn't matter.
Jim died.
She'll lose the pension.
What happened?
He died.
I didn't know that.
Jim,
The
yeah,
guy that she was with? Oh, wow.
Yeah, he
Holy
passed-
cow.
You know,
That's right. I do
couple-
remember that now.
yeah, passed away a
Yeah.
couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Nice man.
Yeah.
John,
Nice
John,
guy.
help me out so I don't make a mistake with the name. Laurie Purcell
Yeah.
runs the Golden Gloves.
Yep.
Basically, to me, she does all the work. She's done a great job for the Golden
Yeah.
Gloves.
Former health inspector.
Yeah, but the other night I went with Marty and my friend Cisco
Cisco
down
kid.
there. Yeah, we had a good time. And what I came out of there with was something incredible. The policeman had a party going on upstairs in the auditorium, and the firemen were there too. It was a first responder type night, you know. And what I loved was how the firemen and the policemen seemed to really be gelling a lot better in the city.
Half the firemen were cops at one time, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them were.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I got that feeling out of that. It's good for that.
Yeah.
You know, because you want to get along. The firemen, I look at the fire department, that is a tough department to get on. You need a relative.
Yeah.
Only civil service test I never took.
But Cisco,
like heights.
Cisco, is it true like the fire department, they're more like a brotherhood and the police don't get along as well as they would together.
Yeah, I think
They don't
the
drink.
firemen tend to
It's like a family, yeah. It's,
more
yeah.
family.
Yeah.
Firemen fight inside the firehouse. The cops fight in the media.
Fight outside.
Yeah, you guys, if there's you guys are having a fight, everybody knows about. Firemen having a fight, they pull the shades down in the firehouse and they duke it out in there.
People used to say to me on the radio, "Why are you always supporting? You love cops." I said, "I do." I said, "But I'm not a cop." I said, "I know tons of them, and I get along with all of them, but I'm not another police officer, so I don't know what goes with the job and all of that other stuff, you know."
I knew I never wanted to be a fireman because I'd be embarrassed. I'd be a door dancer. I'd hold the door open for all the other firemen to go into the fire.
Up the street.
I was a
from your
prison guard. I had a lot more fun doing that.
house, the Lawrence Street Firehouse, when we were kids, remember they had a train set in the basement? The fireman, one of the firemen was into trains, and I can't think of his name. And even when I was delivering mail in the early 80s, I think it was still there. But the guy had a huge train set up on Lawrence Street.
Yeah, but I grew up basically in the same neighborhood as you, right? And as far as running a race,
Hey, Cisco, go through the kitchen and let's say, man, please.
But getting back to you, Marty, I
Tell him he can't
always,
block the garage doors.
I always knew that
I think he's blocking the garage.
you would have won. I knew
Property
you were going
garage.
to win because of how many people you knew.
Tell him go down
You
there.
know, over the years, can you picture how many people you've met as a mailman?
Oh,
Thanks,
geez.
Cisco.
When I first run for the schools, I used my dad's name, Bob Hoey.
Oh, your dad,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah. And you know what happened to my poor grandson out there in North Middlesex, Townsend area, in the schools? They told the poor kid to look, hey, Google your own name. He's named after me.
Yeah.
So I came up on his Google.
Yeah.
He's in school. It didn't bother him at all. I love you, Papa. It doesn't matter.
That's
One of the
right.
best political ads I've ever seen was when Bobby first ran. The Low Sun. It wasn't the Low Sun did a story on them on candidates, and Bobby, Billy, the Hoeys have put so much time into youth services in the city. You said if the kids were voting, I'd win. And to me, that was one of the best ads, one of the best stories I've ever seen.
Yeah, they gave me like a whole page
Yeah.
that day, and I remember the exact words. I said, if the kids could vote, I'd win in a landslide. I didn't win in a landslide, but I did win,
Sure.
just by
sure.
like 100 votes.
I remember an interview with Robert Mills, he was a good Low Sun reporter.
Yeah, he
And
was.
he was doing the candidate stuff, and he says, the election was coming up, and he says, what happens if you lose? I says, well, if I lose, I lose. I says, I'll go to motorcycle night on Tuesday nights out on the boulevard. He laughed. He says, can I use that line? I said, go for it. I really don't care, you know.
What do you think caused your loss, Marty? I mean, what was the issue
Votes. Every time you vote, you lose support.
that you were
And,
well liked? I mean, again, going
plus
back
I
to the
said,
former mailman, people must say it's weird. It's just weird.
There were three things. One, I said I'd give Lynch a contract, and at that time, that was the big issue.
Yeah.
And people wanted Lynch out.
Yeah.
And it was funny because if I get reelected, my support was going to Kevin Murphy for city manager, who did get it. But I said I'd give Bernie a contract. I thought he was doing okay, and I knew most of his anti-vote was personal. Their vote I went against Westview Road, the people
Yep.
up in the Highlands loved it, but the people behind it weren't happy with me.
Yeah.
And the Low Sun.
Sam, how are you?
The Low Sun was very close to Rodney.
Sam,
and
put everything on the couch
they
over
put
there.
in the paper, one of their reporters that I said I wouldn't support, there was a motion to support Artie Demoulas, and they put in the paper, I said I wouldn't support him. I never said it.
Right.
My phone was off the hook the next day. I called that particular reporter, and we'll put a retraction, and they never did.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's always the case. I mean,
yeah.
the sun is now. I mean, we as
The
politicians.
sun ain't what it used to be, sadly.
Not anymore. Oh, no, that's,
Us as politicians, I know you did, I did. The first thing you went to was the political column. There's no political column
No.
anymore. It's awful. And the reporters are awful. It's just,
the best city councilor when I was on was Joe Maldonado.
Oh,
And Joe lost
he was
that
a straight
year.
honest guy, right?
Joe was great, but Joe said he'd give Lynch a contract. And on this show, I was watching maybe a day, Tom, He used to live in,
Thornton?
yes.
Great
And
guy.
they said, what happened to him in the election? He said a political fight broke out in the city, and Joe Maldonado and Marty were in the middle. They were neutral. And and it's true, that's the worst place you can be. We were neutral in that fight.
Yeah.
And it came back on both of us. And Joe finances probably the best city council while I was there.
Well, I didn't know him well, but they say he was a very honest guy, very straightforward. Another Eric guy, didn't like go off on
Very
issues. Yeah. Gave you his word. Like Phil Stray used to always tell me, it's not that but your word in politics, and he gave you his word. He'd give you your word.
He did. Joe was really a fantastic city councilor.
Yeah.
But again, he said he didn't get in the middle of everything. He said he'd give Lynch a contract. And the funny part was the people who want to get rid of Lynch, outside of Rodney and Freddie Doyle, I always gave them credit.
Yeah.
I'll fire him the next day. And all the others, I don't believe in contracts. I don't believe in contracts.
A little political history. Rodney Elliott was one of Bernie Lynch's first votes when he wanted to become the manager.
He was.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And he was one of John Cox's first votes, and for some reason, Rodney, they soured between both guys, So
it was funny. We're on the council one night, and Lynch did something that irritated me. I forget what it was. And I leaned over to Eddie Kennedy, and I said, I feel like making a motion to fire him. And Eddie said, you can't make that motion unless you have 5 votes. 2 minutes later, Eddie leans over and says, Rodney will second it. But I give Rodney credit. He was very honest. I'll fire him. I don't want him as a manager. Everyone else, I don't believe in contracts. And the Lowell Sun, maybe a year or two, the last 2 elections or so, have brought that up with candidates who we have to give a contract. It came up this year with Tommy when they gave him that contract extension, and they had 2 people who voted for it who ran that year and said they weren't for contracts.
Dennis Peendack, 27 years as the town manager in Drake, never had a contract.
Yeah.
Didn't want one.
Yeah.
But then Duggan comes along, this girl comes along with contracts. And it's just.
Dennis never went to a fundraiser.
Talking, yeah.
He never got involved in politics in the town.
Yep.
Well, let me
And-
say this to you guys. It has to do with you can't get a bank loan. If you're a town manager, the question on the bank, well, do you have a contract or you don't? They don't like that. If you don't have a contract, the bank doesn't like it.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, I'm going to lend you $1 million to buy your house, Tom. You got a steady job? Oh, yeah, I have a job. They can go away with it in a whim.
What about, was the health director. I didn't have a contract. They won't look at that.
You have union protection.
I didn't. I wasn't in the union. We were department heads.
Well, I'm just telling you what my banker buddies tell me.
I believe you.
No contract, no house. We're going to go to break, kids.
All right.
And I remind everybody that it is 6 degrees outside.
What a wind chill factor
Yes.
at 3, minus
And
3.
look at that flag waving. So let everybody cross the street. We'll be back.
Good morning, everybody. It is January 27th, and this is City Life with our producer, John McDonough, our usual co-host, Cisco Maldonado, Marty Lorrey, former city councilor, Cisco Maldonado, future city councilor, Bobby Hoey, future school committee man, I hope he runs again, and Sam Meas, who's a candidate for state senator. Sam, welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Why don't we start off, Sam? Tell us a little about yourself, why you're running, your district. You got the mic for a while.
Great. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sam Meas, candidate for 1st Middlesex Senate District. A little bit about myself. I'm a business owner, I'm a tax accountant, and I'm also a real estate broker in Lowell. I work in Lowell for about 15 years now, so I spend most of my time in the city of Lowell, in and out. Been involved with many community activities. Prior to that, I worked for major corporations such as BlackRock, State Street Global Advisor, State Street Bank, State Street Research, and at one point I was working for General Motor Asset Management Company in New York. I was there when 9/11 took place. Now, I work on my own. Strike.
All those companies. Why do you want to run for politics?
Well, I've been there, done that.
Have you run before?
I ran before.
Yeah,
I ran for U.S. Congress before.
That's right,
In
yeah.
2010. That was a long time ago.
Sam, when you're talking, look at yourself on the TV.
Oh,
There you
great,
go.
thank you, yeah. So I ran for Congress back in 2010. That was a long time ago. Now I wanted to get back for three reasons. One is I'm tired of running. I believe that if America falls, we fall. So there's no place else to run. I'm standing my ground. I want to make sure that I'm not running anymore, and that we stand here and fight for our freedom, for our liberty. Beacon Hill has become an authoritarian state right now. Democrat control absolute majority on Beacon Hill. It can do whatever they want. That's an encroachment on our freedom and liberty. Two, I want to make Massachusetts affordable again. Massachusetts has become one of the second most expensive state to live. One of the driving costs would be the cost of energy. Massachusetts politicians, instead of building gas pipeline, using gas from the western field of Pennsylvania or the Midwest, they're importing gas from the Middle East, and they're making us pay much higher price. Third, I want the whole have politicians, especially self-serving career politicians on Beacon Hill, accountable. Back in 2024, the people of Massachusetts voted overwhelmingly 72% to audit the state legislatures. All the Democrats, including Rodney Elliott, Vanna Howard, voted against the audit of the state legislature. Fiscal year 2025, we have a budget of $57.7 billion, and yet the politician on Beacon Hill managed to overspend it by $3.2 billion. All of them voted for it without a blink of an eye. They wasted so much of our money, our taxpayer money, we hard-earned money, and yet every year they keep coming back and asking for more money, more money, more money. They are planning to raise fees and taxes. Moore Healing is planning to raise the excise tax from $25 per 1,000 to $75 per 1,000. That's a huge increase on our taxpayer. We are paying for property tax, we are paying for sales tax, we are paying for income taxes. There's no more taxes to be paid by the people of this state. And we in Massachusetts are not having a revenue problem. We are having a spending problem. And politicians on Beacon Hills are not being held accountable, are not asking questions. They keep, voting straight party line, 100% party line, to increase the spending. And I'm sick and tired of it, like the rest of you. So hopefully my message, my campaign message would resonate with you, and you would afford me an opportunity. What do you have to lose? You have nothing. This is a Democratic controlled state. This is a Democratic controlled city. This is a Democratic controlled district. Give me a chance. If you don't like it, November 2026, vote me out.
No,
Thank you.
We're going to bounce back to the last hour just to clear out the rest of these texts. Tommy, you want to read these, please?
Good morning, gentlemen. Happy Tuesday. Kerry McDermott. Ralph Hoey, could the panel give their assessment of how Drake will vote in a special election next week? Maybe a key community in deciding the outcome of the
We're not
district.
going to do that today.
Okay. And was one more. If you make that kind of money, you...
That's from Eric Gitchy.
So, Sam, now you Are you running as a sticker candidate right now? Is your name on the ballot, or it isn't on the ballot?
I am running as a sticker
So you have
candidate
to
right
get,
now,
you gotta get so many
Republican.
votes.
I need to get 300 votes from throughout the district. Yes,
Right.
300 votes. After which time, by February 9, I can either decline or accept the nomination from the
And then your
Republican.
name will be on the ballot
Yes,
in March, rather.
In March, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm
And are
thinking
you a Lowell
November.
resident?
Not yet. I will be a low resident honor before the election day.
Oh, okay.
And that's a state requirement,
Oh, wow.
basically, that one has to be.
Where do you live now, Sam?
Right now, I'm living in Lawrence.
Understood.
My wife's hometown. You guys have a question for Sam?
The Lowell Sun, I follow them on Mondays. They have a roundup down the State House. There's two bills. They haven't become bills yet. They're under discussion. The first one is a couple of state reps want to take the first-degree murder charge of an individual and give them parole after 25 years. An opportunity. They don't believe in life without parole. We've seen the judicial Supreme Court rule that anyone under 20 should have they can't be sentenced for life. And they've let out, 40 to 50 first and second degree murderers in the state. If they put that down at the State House, would you support parole for first degree murderers of any age after 25 years?
No, I would not support that. I believe that crimes deserve punishment. There has to be consequences for the crime that one commit. We have to hold individual accountable for their action.
There's one other bill, and I'll just be quick. I read it last week or this week, maybe in the Boston papers. They want to get rid of penalties for people who don't pay their excise tax, their parking fees, their tickets. If you get violation tickets, speeding, and they don't pay them, right now they can take your license. There's a movement down there to get rid of all of those penalties. You don't pay your excise tax with the cities, no penalty. Would you support that?
No, I won't. The reason why is that cities and towns and the state has to have a mechanism to enforce traffic safety laws. We are individual. We are responsible for our own action. And should we get a parking tickets or traffic ticket, we need to pay those tickets on a timely manner.
John,
I got to ask this question.
you're showing the courthouse, just so you know.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll put
Oh, I
myself.
thought he knew it.
Oh, there you go. There you are.
I can't see that screen.
That was nice, but it looked very snowy in there.
Yeah.
Sam, excellence in different departments of the state. Right now, the state police have ruined their own reputation. The Department of Transportation ruined their reputation. The courts. Hey.
Guys.
Hey.
Shut your
Do
mic off if you're going to talk. Thank you so much. So, the court, they have no lawyers for people trying to defend themselves. What are you going to do at the State House, if anything, to demand excellence from every department?
That's an excellent question, John. Thank you for bringing that up. It goes back to audit the state legislature, in which my Democratic opponent, whether Ronna Howard or Rodney Elliott, voted for it. I believe that we are wasting billions and billions and billions of dollars. Once we audit that, I am sure that we will find a net saving, billions and billions of dollars, of which we can use that money, net saving, assume that we don't do anything. We can use that net saving to fund public defender. We need to use that net saving to hire an independent auditor to audit every state agency. Because I know that for too long, politicians on Beacon Hill has been scratching my back, and they're not doing anything to really bring about excellence. We need to bring that. We need to have an independent audit agency, outside auditing firm. So I will work steadfastly with Diane, auditor, Dioclo, to audit these things.
She might not talk to you. She's a Democrat.
She is a Democrat, but she used to be my
I'm
friend.
just kidding you. She's nice.
I know,
nice,
she's
yeah.
a very nice woman. I campaigned with her when she was running for her first time for the state rep in Haverhill area. Part of her district was Lawrence and Haverhill. At that time, I was running for U.S. Congress, and I was living in Haverhill, and I had the opportunity to meet with her. And she's such a wonderful woman.
I met her at Mark Crapman's party out in Tewksbury. What? sat next to her. What a great gal.
She's a great woman, yeah.
Diane
And-
DeZoglio, yeah, I've met her a couple of times. Very.
And I want to work with her. I definitely want to work with her. I know that when elected, I would be in the minority party, but I want to bring about that, that bill, that legislation to force the audit. That's the only way. We cannot depend on career self-serving politicians to audit themselves because they always wanted to look out for themselves and they want to get elected and re-elected and then claim themselves that I am serving the public. But for all this time, most of them are not doing anything. And in fact, many of them are voting straight party line with the Speaker of the House and the Senate President against Auditor Diana DeZoglio. She is fighting tooth and nail right now on Beacon Hill to get these things for us. And I am hopeful that the people of the First Middlesex would give me that opportunity to work with her, to openly work with her. I don't really care whether she's a Democrat, she's a Republican or not, but she is doing a great thing for our state and for our people and our district.
You know,
Would
you're
you
running,
okay, Bobby, your turn.
you're running for a state senator, a seat that my friend Ed Kennedy, God bless his soul, passed away. But to me, he did a lot for every town. Right across every town you're running for, he brought a lot of money to them. I think Lowell High School, when Ed passed away, there's a lack of someone watching over the high school and what's going on. I don't expect you to give me your opinion on the high school, but what would you do for schools in general? Are you going to send us more money? Are you going to just take a better look at schools? Because Ed was someone that was the mayor before he was a senator, and he fought for the schools, and that's what I fight for.
So, as an elected official, state senator from the First Middlesex Sex District, I will work very hard to bring whatever resources that is out that I can get to the district. I want to make sure that whatever project that is in transit will continue to be funded, particularly the school. Again, go back to the audit. Once we open that book, we expose sunlight to the corruption, the waste, and the fraud. There will be thousands of million money available. That could be used in the form of tax rebate to the taxpayer, as well as in the form of unrestricted government grant to the schools and towns that are sorely needed. The city and town across the Commonwealth are living on, hand and mouth right now. But yet the states are spending billions and billions of dollars on other programs that we don't need. So it's my job to make sure that I am fighting, and I will be fighting to get the resources, to get the funding for our district fair and square.
Two questions. When I told you to give you a little introduction, you talked about career politicians. Would you support term limits?
Absolutely.
Okay.
People should be going out there, whether at the city council, whether at the school committee, whether at state rep, state senator, U.S. congressman. They shouldn't be serving for a lifetime. They need to come out and feel the pain of the policy that they voted for, that they will be voting for too long. We're living in a one-party state. Once you're a Democrat, you can serve for life. And that is wrong. That is morally wrong. If I'm elected, I probably serve 1 or 2 terms, maybe 3 terms at the most, and I move on to do something else. Because, I'm 55 years old, although I'm a very good-looking man.
You're looking good, buddy. You're looking good.
I know I'm 55, but if I serve another 10 years in the state house, I'm sure I age very fast. And I don't want to die in office. My dream is to die in Key West. One time I took a vacation. This is so funny. It's just
Do it
etched.
at Halloween.
Yeah. This is etched in my mind when I was driving with my wife Leah. We drove down to Key West, right? There was this old gentleman.
Did you know that's grounds for divorce in every state?
I'm sorry?
If you drive to Florida, it's grounds for divorce in every state.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, thank
What
you,
is?
John. Thank you. And then we go back to my story.
Driving
Right?
down to Florida.
So-
Divorce.
We go back to my story. There was this older gentleman, his occasions all sun-drenched, was stark naked and was fishing, right, in the Key West. And then I told my wife, that's the life I want. When I croak, I want to croak in that water, done. That's beautiful.
Are you a lifelong Republican, or
I switched back and forth because I felt,
Are you a Democrat?
I was running as a Democrat at one point against Roddy Mom, whom I helped get elected to be the state rep. And the reason I did that because I know that this is a Democratic city, Democratic town. Once you win the primary, you win, and I want to change the Democratic Party from within. Had I been given that opportunity, boy, you would have read my story. I would have shaken up beacon here. The Speaker of the House would hate me. We would have put my office next to the woman's bathroom. But I would have done a lot of things for our district. I would have shaken things up.
A good friend of this show, Carla Miller, already called me, told me to vote for you.
Oh, okay.
She's working for you.
Yeah, she is, yeah. And I hope that you know, after meeting with me, after reviewing my policy, my platform, you would afford me that opportunity, simply because it's the three reasons why I ran. And if you don't like what I say, and if I don't deliver what I promised to deliver you for the next year till November, you can vote me out. You have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose, because my principles, my values are stark different from that of the candidate you're supporting, Rodney Elliott. Because he's a lifelong politician. He's been serving as a public servant for 27 years. And I want you to, when you go back and ask him to name one policy at the State House that he is proud of, that he has brought beside money. All elected officials will be working hard to bring money to the district, but in terms of politics, in terms of value. But ask him, why did he vote against audit the state legislature? 72% of Massachusetts residents voted for it, Democrat, Republican, and unenrolled, because they know that we are wasting thousands and thousands of billions each year on programs that we have known nothing about.
You think we're like Minnesota?
The fraud in Massachusetts will be greater than that of Minnesota.
Oh,
will
yeah.
be greater than
Absolutely,
Maine.
positively.
We will blow the lid. I mean, if you look at it percentage-wise, the fraud in this state will be comparable to that of California.
You know the
talk about-
EBT cards. When you lose your EBT card, the state continues to fund the lost card.
That is precise. And that's the problem. I'm sorry, Tom.
No, it's okay, it's okay.
That is precisely the problem in this state, where you have career politicians and career bureaucrats are working for each other. Remember, every nonprofit organization, whether the people at the EBT cards, Section 8 and all that stuff, they need victims. And the more victims they have, the more money the state will allocate them. So it is in their self-interest to spend money. And it's just the way the government program works, you know. They allocated you X billions of dollars. If you don't spend it for that fiscal year, you lose it. And then the next fiscal year, they subtract the amount of money that is left over from your program. And it's a vicious cycle. And therefore, the administrator, I don't blame them for that program, in order for them to get higher pay, 300, 400,000, whatever pay they can justify themselves, they will increase the program spending. That way they can bring more people, increase the program spending, so that they themselves and their staff continue to get fat paycheck off your back.
You mentioned, and it's true, you're up to 72% of the voters voted for the audit.
Mhm.
Marty, you're a political expert like myself and Bob. You know none of the Republicans, and none of the reps are going to get defeated. Do you agree? That they're going to probably, most of them are going to run unopposed. If Rodney and if Eddie Kennedy was still alive, I'm sure Rodney and Vanna would be running unopposed.
Right.
The people, why do you think that's the case? Why, I mean, and it's true, 72% of the people, the Attorney General's defied this. Campbell, she's defied the whole thing with DeZoglio.
Right.
I think DeZoglio could run for governor this year and win.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Well, I think everyone was surprised to find out Maura Healey has $21 million
Yeah.
in her reelection account.
I'm sorry, before you answer, Marty. I like to find out where that $21 million is coming from. Is it coming from Minnesota?
Go to the Office of Campaign Finance.
They
and
were
give you
just
all the
there.
answers.
Go ahead,
I got a
Marty.
question.
I'm sure she gets some out-of-town money. Yeah.
Tom brought up and you've been talking about the audit ballot question. Right now, there's at least 12 ballot questions this year on the ballot, and there may be more coming. Does that tell us that people aren't listening down in Boston to the constituents? If you have to go to a ballot question, does that mean that they're not listening to the people in this state?
Tom, you want to read this
Tom?
one?
All right, come here. Good morning. Best of luck, Mr. Meas. Keep hammering them on the audit. Maybe if we had an honest media in the state, not an arm of the governor, then it would be in the news more.
Thank you. So, is that a question for me?
Yeah.
Or is that
Yeah,
for Tom?
there's 12 ballot questions,
Yeah.
and maybe more coming.
And I'll just
Yeah.
say I think he's right, but go
Yeah.
ahead. I think he's right.
I think that's inherently the problem with a one-party state. We have a Democrat that has supermajority, I think over 60 years now. So the three most powerful people on Beacon Hill, people might not know this, the Speaker of the House, the Senate President, and the Treasurer. Because most of the executive decision, gambling, cannabis, lottery, everything that is imaginable are being given to the state auditor, the treasurer, to run it. Beacon Hill is broken. And it's broken because we have a supermajority state. All state representatives or state senators are taking marching orders from the Speaker of the House or the Senate President. Yes, the people whom we elected presently, because the majority are Democrats, are not listening to us. And that's why we have all of these referendum ballot questions that is upcoming. And there is no way to run a government. And if you have an effective representative, if you have an effective governor, we wouldn't be having these, ballot questions at all. And it's a shame. It's shameful that people whom we are elected and paid a handsome salary, state representative, state senator, a base salary of $82,000 a year. And if they sit on plum committee, they get more money. Ronnie Elliott, Vanna Harvard, sits on the Ways and Means Committee. I don't know how they got that, but they did, given their seniority level above all other people. Now, my question for both of them is, if you sit on one of the most powerful committee, the Ways and Means Committee, in which none of the bill could come to the floor of the House, be voted on, unless you and your committee member voted for it, why did you want to leave that? And if you really care about your district, in this case, Vanna Harvard and Rodney Elliott represent Low and a portion of Chelmsford, why would you want to leave that powerful committee in which you can bring millions of dollars into the district? Why would you be running for a state senate when you have a job already in which you probably haven't done much in terms of voting for the interests of the people of the district? Remember, you voted, both of you, voted 100% of the time with the Speaker of the House. You are taking marching orders from the Speaker of the House. Should either one of you be elected as a state senator, I guarantee you, you will be doing the same thing. Why? That's because you will be chasing for a plum committee assignment among the 36 state senators from the Democratic Party. And given your seniority, you will never be allowed to sit on the Ways and Means Committee, the most powerful. So why would you want to give up that and not represent the interests of the people in which the committee that you have been coveting for so long, and you got it, and now you're giving up?
Are you on the ballot coming up?
No, he's got to get
No,
signatures.
I'm going to get signatures.
Oh,
It's
you're
like
gonna
300
write-ins,
signatures
write-ins.
right in here.
Right.
All right.
People can write, pick up a Republican ballot, write my name, Sam Meas, and that's it. That's the intention. I had confirmed that with the Secretary of State. That is sufficient. I also have a sticker that people can peel off and affix it to the ballots as well.
It has to be a Republican ballot.
It has to be a Republican
Right,
ballot.
right.
You have to be unenrolled or a registered Republican.
Sam, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Why do you think we don't have more challenges from the Republican Party for some of these seats? I love the fact that you're outspoken and making people think critically of their vote. I would love to see more Republicans involved locally and even representative seats and Senate seats
Yeah.
in Massachusetts. I think it's shameful that the Republican Party doesn't work harder to get candidates out there.
Yeah.
The only way you're going to get your message out, and I'm sorry, should be looking at the camera, is by, going out and having candidates that represent a platform that's conservative, a platform that's going to, ask questions like, where's our money, and why are we so expensive, and why is government so big? And without candidates that go out and spread that message, you're still going to have a very strong Democratic state.
Well, The honest answer is that the Mass GOP is broken, and it needs to be revamped. Second is that it is almost an insurmountable run against an entrenched, well-established, well-coordinated Democratic machine. I'm going to pick on my friend Bob here,
Go ahead.
right?
I like that.
He's a bona fide Republican. He
No.
voted Republican many times.
Unenrolled.
Unenrolled.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
unenrolled. My bad. Unenrolled, right? But yet, he's supporting an entrenched, self-serving politician, Ronnie Elliott. Why? Because Ronnie Elliott is his friend. You see? No, hold on.
Yeah.
Like many people, Bob,
Yeah.
they voted for their elected representative not because that particular person represents their best interest, but because that person is their friend. They're from high school, from grade school, from college. They work together. They're colleague from city council. Look at the local city council. Almost all of them endorse Ronnie Elliott. And many of them privately confer with me. I'm not going to say it, but they voted because, and that's the problem. There's entrenched, self-serving. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. They don't care of their best interest. Now, and it's very difficult for anybody, whether you are a Republican or unenrolled, to challenge the establishment. It's very, very difficult. In almost every city in town, it's controlled by the Democrats. City councilor, all of them are registered Democrat. Sakari Chow endorsed Rodney Elliott because he's a Democrat. I mean, I'm not expecting him to endorse me, but if you really want to be fair, to be honest, you got to look at the records, the legislative record of that particular individual, and say, has this particular individual voted for the best interest of my district? Or is it because he stayed on the city council with me, he voted with me, he scratched my back, so that when I run for office again, at high office, whether it's state rep or state senator, Ronnie's going to support me. His supporters are going to support me. The union will come and support me. And that is very difficult now. Down south, you have the same problem, but it's a different party. The Republican control everything. And it is unhealthy either. I don't like to see that, and that's why I'm running, because I want to bring the balance. I want to bring different opinion. And if my Democratic liberal friend are watching right now, I want you to look at me. I am the candidate that epitomized DEI. Remember that. If you believe in plurality, democracy, and diversity, I am that candidate. Because if you voted for your Democratic friend, you're not voting for diversity. You're not voting for equity. You're voting for the same old thing.
Now, you just did that looking at yourself.
That was awesome.
Sam,
Thank
Hey,
you.
Tom,
job.
read this.
you can rename it Bacon Hill for all the pork. Greg Pappas. Sam, you can't make the changes you're
I don't
talking
think
about.
Greg should have voted for you.
Sam, you can't make the changes you're talking about in 2 to 4 years. You're talking ragtime. You already proved you can't get things done by not getting on the ballot the proper way like the others.
Greg, go ahead. Can I respond?
But I have a question for you.
Great. This is why I'm doing it. I got on the. When I was unenrolled before I became a Republican, registered as a Republican. That's one of the reasons why I'm getting 300 ballot. But Greg, rest assured, I will get that 300 votes. And when I do, I'm going to call you. I want to make sure that you're going to vote for me. Give a change, Greg. If your mentality is the same thing all the time, Democrat, and then you expect me to change things overnight. Why have you asked Vanna Harvard? Have you asked Rodney Elliott? What have they done to make changes in the state house? Why have they voted 100% with the Speaker of the House? Will they be doing the same thing? Will they be taking marching order from the Senate President Greg? This is the mentality that has brought us to where we are today. To pound on somebody who's trying to make changes and questioning their integrity and their intention. If you're brave, it's not too late yet, I don't think. Run a ballot campaign. Put your name in, and you and I will compete against each other.
Tommy?
Grand Slam, Mr. Meas. No respect to Mr. Hoey, but you were correct. Stop voting for your friends. Vote for the most qualified.
Yeah, well, anyways, I wanted
So-
to get back to
Okay,
that,
go ahead.
Tom, because he
Go ahead.
mentioned my name and I'm voting for Rodney. I'm an unenrolled person, okay?
Yeah.
Coming up in the Democratic election, it's Rodney against Vanna Howard, correct?
Correct.
I want Rodney. Now, when the general election comes, there's a lot of choices for an unenrolled person. You, hopefully.
Mhm.
Joe.
Joe.
Espinola.
Mhm.
He's a guy I like. So I'm not, but for you to say I'm gonna vote for Rodney, on this show, I might be the one that says all the time, I think he's in trouble. I do think he's in trouble. I think Vanna Howard's the one to beat.
I want to
That's all.
make 2 points
Go ahead.
and talk about friendships and politics. I knew Rodney Elliott long before he was a politician. I met him back in the 80s sometime or other. I knew his dad. I knew his wife, the Machados. So there's nothing wrong with supporting friends if you've been a lifelong friend. Question, who would you rather be running against, Vanna or Rodney? If you had
I'll-
to pick, who do you think have a better shot at beating?
I welcome either one of them because
No, that's
I
my
will be
question.
running.
That's not my
I will be
question.
running against their record.
So you don't have a preference? Who
I
you
don't
think-
have a problem because they
Right.
they both are Democrat. They voted straight party line, 100% with the party leadership, and I'm not running against an individual per se. And I consider Rodney as my friend. I know Rodney when he wanted to become mayor of Low. He came hard, strong onto the Khmer community. I was the one who introduced him to all the Khmer community. So I consider Rodney as a friend. But I'm running because I want to give people a choice, and I'm running against their records.
Hey, Sam, I'm going to go back to some of the stuff you were saying. So you're talking about the Democrats, but, originally, it sounds like you changed your strategy in regards to how you're running for this campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Originally, you said that you ran as a Democrat because you felt that was the only way you could get in there and make changes. I believe that strategy is still being used presently by some delegates or representatives because of how powerful the machine is.
Mm-hmm.
So, you kind of have to give it to some of our politicians that they're in that strategy that you actually said you used prior. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I love what you're doing now. It's difficult, and I don't want you to change. I'm just asking you to make your team bigger. You know what I mean? Because, you said it at the beginning. My strategy was to be a Democrat, to go in there, get elected, and make changes. And I see that still happening. So, you can't knock some of the candidates that are out there that are Democrats, but have some conservative views, you know what I mean?
If I could make 2 points before, Ed Markey, I had forgot this story, it was in the Herald not too long ago. When he was a state rep, I guess, out of Malden, he irritated the speaker so badly, they put his desk in the hallway. Remember that, Tommy?
Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
And then he went down, probably on the weekend, took a picture of the desk, and when he was running for Congress, says, they can tell me where to sit, but they can't tell me where to stand.
Yeah.
He's
I remember
never
that.
voted against the leadership down in Washington.
Yeah.
The other thing with Rodney, and I served with him on the council, we were two polar opposites, but we got along. Personally, we didn't take it out.
Yeah.
And I just talked about that election Bobby asked about, and there was a movement to get rid of the city manager. A lot of people weren't happy with him. People running all said, I don't believe in contracts. Two people, Freddie Doyle and Rodney, I'll fire him the next day. He was honest about it, and he ran on that. And I always give credit to Rodney. That was his stance. None of this, I don't believe in contracts, and moved on. That's Rodney. You may not agree with him, but he'll tell you where he's going. And, I've always respected Rodney for his positions, and even though we're different, but his honesty. And he'll come right out and tell you what he's going to do, and he does it. So, but running against the speaker, Ed Markey's now a U.S. Senator, so it can be done. If he had lost, he probably would have gone in on Monday and apologized
But you're
to
right.
the speaker.
And you're absolutely right. He supports the leadership down there, Marky. He did
Every
it.
time.
Every time.
100%.
100%, yeah.
Give it, Bobby.
Oh, you don't need one? No, I'm sorry, I brought that up after Cisco talked.
Yeah.
But you look at Colleen Gary, she probably votes with the speakers, probably, 70% of the time?
Yeah, very independent.
And
yeah.
she hasn't got a good committee assignment. She's known on House of Weeds after 20 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so it's true. It's very true, what the speaker does down there. And we had a case, maybe, 20 years ago, Tom, where about 3 speakers in a row did time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were, Birmingham, I think, for Corian, was that his
But
name?
no, Birmingham, but it was Finneran.
Finneran.
Flaherty was Flaherty.
Flaherty.
And I forget, but it wasn't Birmingham, it was another one.
DeLeo.
Yeah.
DeLeo, right? DeLeo? The Speaker of the House?
No, he didn't serve.
No,
He didn't serve.
Okay.
Was Flaherty,
Yeah.
Birmingham, and we had some good ones over the years.
And Colleen, I know she was an avid supporter of the guy whose name was Rogers, I think, against Finneran over again. And if he had been the speaker, she would have gone someplace because they were very close.
Our delegation of old never got good assignments. Kevin Murphy, Tommy Golden, Dave Nangle, they were always on the opposite side of the speaker. Every time these guys got in trouble, there would be a speaker fight, and they never really seemed to be on board with whoever won.
Yeah, I'm
And,
trying to think before. Rogers on Ways and Means, you said? No?
Yeah, yes.
The
But
last,
I think
I think Phil Shea was the last one to be on Ways and Means.
Yeah, I
maybe
thought so,
before
too.
Rodney. Yeah.
You know, one of the people that call in or send messages, it's Jay. He always signs it Jay. I think the advice he just gave you is very good because he watches all the time. He sends in some great, common sense answers.
That Bacon Hill's gonna last, man.
I know. I like that Bacon Hill. I love
No,
it.
that's a good one too. But what I think you've done best so far is when you talked about the audit and you look straight at the TV. That's important on this show.
Thank
Hopefully you come back and
Thank you.
make sure you don't look at me and look at everybody else because you're 55, right?
I am.
You look good, buddy,
You're
for
55.
55.
Good, he looks
I don't know what it is.
Anybody next to you looks good.
Okay.
I'm sitting right next to him.
You look good, buddy. You really look good, buddy.
Nice to go door to door with Bobby.
I'm talking to you.
Right, coming
One at a
down.
time.
One at a time.
One at a time.
I have to swear, that guy looks 35 for Carmelo. He's 55 years old, man.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about running for office in Lawrence? Because isn't there a big Asian community in Lawrence?
I live in Lawrence out of necessity,
Yeah.
but my heart has always been in Low. I
Wow.
wake up in the morning. After the gym, I come to Low about 9 o'clock, and I stay here till about 7 or 8 o'clock at night time working.
Is your accountant office in Lowell?
Yes, in Low. My
yeah.
accounting, both my brokerage office and my accounting office is in Low.
There isn't any candidate on the Republican primary early/absentee ballot. So they would have to put a sticker on that.
They would have to
absentee
put a
ballot,
sticker
or write your name.
or write my name down
Yeah.
on that Republican. So you could just write my name, Sam, Sam, Meas, and that's it. And then fill in the oval. Make sure you
Yeah,
fill in the oval.
they can actually just write Sam M, and they'll still get
The intent's
Correct.
there.
yeah,
the
the
intent is
intent's
there.
there. So when
Yeah,
when they go to look at the ballot, it's not so much how specific; it's the intent of the voter that's going to determine on who gets a vote, which
Correct.
candidate.
You know what I'd
gets.
like to hear from you, Sam?
Yes, sir.
You said you live in Lawrence and you love Lowell. Lowell's in your heart.
Yeah.
I believe, this is just my opinion, downtown Lawrence seems to be doing much better than downtown Lowell.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
was through there last week.
Yeah.
I
So-
could not believe it.
My question to you is, you have any ideas on what Lowell should do to try to get it better, our
Yeah.
downtown?
So, as a regular person, I can do much. I can say, I can articulate. I did articulate my opinion on the Low Life Feed Forum about a year or two ago back, and it got a lot of traction. One thing we need to do is to bring an anchor store, a real supermarket. I used to live in New York City, and we have this neighborhood supermarket. It doesn't have to be the market basket of what we have out there in Tewksbury or on Broadway or on across the river, but it's a supermarket, a mini supermarket, so that everything is there. People need it, a reasonable price. it's something that has been done in New York City, and I think it could be done in downtown Lowell.
How about, just to throw this in, H-Mart in Burlington. Talk about a supermarket. You ever been there?
Never
I've been
been
there, yeah.
No.
They got like 2 policemen
Yeah.
directing traffic.
Really?
That's all.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's
Busy.
unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable.
What's it
yeah.
like, a Whole Foods? or
Like a
is-
supermarket
Yeah.
for any type of fish in the world
Yeah.
is in there. You
Yeah.
might be able to find what Dominic Lay likes is some type of spiders.
Where is it, Bobby? Down near the
I'm not eating no spiders, Dominic.
The reason why I look this young because I don't eat spider.
Where's it, down near the mall, Bobby?
It's close to, it's right off of, pretty close to the hospital.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty close. Yeah.
Oh, Leahy? Yeah, okay, my wife.
So I think if you have an anchor store, we can bring people in. People come shops, and they don't need automobile anymore. And this is one thing that Representative Vanna Harvard and I could work together. Should I'm elected as a state senator, we want to work in the downtown area, bring all the community leaders, the owners of all those buildings that empty right now. I don't know why. Well, I know why, for tax reason. But we need to, refurbish those downtown buildings and combine some of the building, make into a sizable supermarket that people can come in. Once you have an anchor store, people who come in and shop. They commute to work in the morning and they come in the evening. The supermarket is open till 8 or 9 o'clock at night. It's a neighborhood type of feeling. And we'll bring people together gradually. Will it change overnight? No, nothing. But it's a gradual process.
Sam, respectfully, I think downtown Lowell's dead. There's no parking. There's parking in downtown Lawrence. There's not parking in downtown Lowell.
John, I respectfully disagree. There's
Okay.
no parking in New York City.
Yeah, okay.
And then we did a lot of shopping in those
We are not New
neighborhoods.
York City.
But downtown, there are a lot of
We are
people who
not
are
New
living
York
in
City.
downtown Lowell. We have a
We
lot
are
of.
lazy Lowellians. We want to park right at the door.
I know, but the mentality has to change. That habit has to change. And I'm sure that when you have a sizable.
And I'm one of those lazy Lowellians.
You're the one who called Uber Uber delivery,
There you
right?
go.
But what I'm getting out of him is, he's saying there's a lot of people that will walk to the place.
Yes.
They won't drive to the place because a lot of them don't have vehicles.
So-
Correct.
You're right. When I was a mailman back in the 80s, there was very little housing, Post Office Square. 246 Market was a Stewart's. Pandell
That's right.
Bracket
Remember
was a
that?
200. These are all apartments now and condos.
Yeah.
They're putting more apartments and more condos in downtown Lowell. I think there'll be a retail district eventually, but you got to stay open till 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night.
Exactly.
Stores in downtown Lowell close at 4 or 5.
Yeah.
They have to be willing to stay late when the people come home.
And I don't even
Correct.
know how many restaurants open on Sundays in Lowell anymore. I think,
Tommy, you want to read this one?
DeMacy, he's right. Fenner and Flurry, the Massachusetts trifecta. Those were the three that were
okay.
invited.
That was it, yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what restaurants open in downtown Lowell on Sunday.
No, we
So
do
you
have some
me-
new restaurants.
So you mentioned a supermarket. This is the challenge that I would put on the city council. We know the registry of motor vehicle is leaving, that vacancy should be looked at as a place where they could possibly put a supermarket down there. That's also
Plenty
gonna
of
fit
parking in
in.
that building.
Yeah, there's
Plenty of
plenty of
parking,
parking
yeah.
there. There's plenty of
Although
space
Sam
there.
says we don't need parking, but
They-
Well,
we need
now we have
parking.
parking.
I'm just picking on you, Sam, because you're right there.
But there's a challenge. Let's think out of the box.
Yeah.
The registry is leaving, right? Isn't that going to
That's
be
the talk.
vacant soon?
That's
The
the
talk. No, they're actually, yeah. I think they're waiting for the lease to be over.
Oh.
So
Where are they going?
I'm not sure, but.
Going to the Target Plaza.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That
So-
last building, the
Yeah.
closest to
So
Chelmsford.
if our city councilor really care about downtown, let's work on it. There's space there, there's parking, and there's customers.
I think that's an excellent idea, and should I'm afforded that opportunity to be the next state senator from the First Middlesex, I work very hard.
You
to
bring
get
the money in
I
for
bring
that?
the money.
All right.
Audit the state legislatures, then there will be thousands and thousands of millions
And I'm
money.
with
We
Bobby.
can refurbish that.
And I'm with
then
Bobby.
We'll make into more, we'll restructure in a way that the low people are benefit, the private sectors are benefit. Maybe we can get, low interest rate loan, that type of thing, make into a quasi-public entity.
They've had that for years through the LDFC with the Lowell plan. If you want to open up a business in Lowell, you could get a loan through the LDFC. To me, the biggest problem with downtown Lowell was these people would come in, get the loans, open a business, and but they don't want to stay open past 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And the people who live downtown, and there's a lot of them now, especially with Jackson Street
Yes.
being rebuilt. These people are coming home at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock at night at work, and if the stores are closed, they're not going to stop.
Right.
You're going to have to stay open. They did it one time. McQuaid's used to be open till 8 o'clock on
Mondays and
with
Thursdays,
Thursdays.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, Talbot's, Martin's, they all stayed open 2 nights a week. The banks were Thursday
Same
and
thing,
Friday
yeah.
nights.
Yeah.
Now no one wants to stay open after 5.
But Sam brings up a good point because the Zayas Plaza,
Yeah.
they have food. They have a food store there. It's always popular. The parking
Yeah.
lot's always got a good.
Yeah.
I don't know who shops in there, but they got a good crowd.
I belong to the gym right next door, a big parking lot. Yeah.
Sam, I'm an unenrolled voter, okay?
Yes, sir.
But I voted for Trump. I'm a Trumper. This show, you can go back and watch it. I'm still a Trumper, which is not easy to say anymore.
No.
A lot of people are shy to say that, but I like the direction our country's going in. I don't like what's going on in Minnesota, but
And neither do I.
yeah, and I feel like this state's not a sanctuary state. I don't believe so. I think Boston is a sanctuary city. Lowell didn't label itself a sanctuary city. What do you feel about sanctuary cities?
Well, there's a distinct function and responsibility between local government, state government, and federal government. When the state sign on to the Constitution and become part of the Union, the state given up a couple rights. Bankruptcy, rights to print money, rights to national defense, rights to international like diplomacy, and rights to immigration. And the enforcement of the immigration is the function and the purview of the federal government.
Tommy from Eric gets you.
If you believe a Republican who was once a Democrat is going to bring Lowell millions and millions in funding, I have tickets. It's a fantasy island for you.
Eric, as the mayor of the city of Lowell, I don't think you should be making that comment. What if I'm elected a state senator? You have to deal with me. I think you should offer an apology, although I think you made that comment in jest, but you shouldn't. As a position of mayor, you have asked people to refer to you many a time as an honorable title. That's the wrong thing to say, Eric. Very childish, very immature. Anyway, go back to my comment.
You know you got another comment coming from him, but go ahead.
Oh, of course, I love
Go ahead.
Eric.
Eric might even call.
Yeah.
No, Eric, meet with me. I'm a proponent of trade school, okay? You work with Joe Espanola for a long time. Serve on the school, on the trade school committee. Yeah,
School committee.
Yeah,
Regional school committee.
yeah. Why is it that Rodney Elliott made one phone call to you and you endorse him, but not Joe Espanola? Anyway, you and I can take it offline. So go back to my position on that. The state and the federal have different function, and the temperature need to be dialed down by both sides. I am a big defender of freedom of speech, liberty. People should have the right to protest anywhere, anytime, except in the church, in places of worship. Okay?
Now wait a second, Sam. Can I bring a loudspeaker? Can I
Into
start?
the church?
There you go.
There you go.
You called that one right
I
now.
love it, Eric. Let's have it on, Eric.
Oh, no. We're gonna run till
Morning,
10
Eric. Go
o'clock
right
today,
ahead.
people.
Listening to Eric.
Morning. How are you?
I am wonderful. Please talk to Sam. You're on.
Is he on now?
Yeah, you're on. Yep. You're on now.
Good morning, Sam. Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Cisco.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Bob, how are you?
Good morning, Eric.
See, Sam, one of the problems is you work on hearsay. You just came out and said that I guaranteed Rodney Elliott something because he asked first. I don't know where you get your information or who's telling you these falsehoods, but I think if you look at Rodney Elliott's record down there and what he's brought to us as a vocational school in the system, do you know he voted against the lottery? And Greater Lowell's a school that is putting people in very good trades, in very good stuff like that. And we had a patent that was working. Do you understand what people vote for, or you just listen to people and hearsay stuff so that you can have a comment? I did serve with Joe, and Joe is a very good representative of Greater Lowell. But I think that Rodney knows the legislator. He's been down there, and I think he'll deliver, much like Ed Kennedy did. We didn't talk about Ed Kennedy being a lifelong politician like you're labeling others, but if you really looked, Ed Kennedy delivered. And I think Rodney Elliott understands how to do that and will bring money back to our community. That's why you do things like that. You are selling Fantasy Island right now on the Republican talking points, which are never going to work. I agree with you that people should have followed what the auditor said, but they didn't. And now we still need to function as a government. And you going down there trying to flip over one person down there, you should come to one of the State of the States and look down from the top and see how many people are actually in those seats and what it takes to get things done.
Sam?
Okay. So, Eric, thank you so much for calling. I got my information from the show. You said that you supported Rodney Elliott because he made a phone call to you on trade school. That's the information. I know that you have had a good working relationship with Rodney Elliott as a city council. You know him. You're friend with him. Maybe that's good. I'm glad that you have that relationship. My position is that I'm questioning the intention of Rodney Elliott. He voted straight party line 100% of the time. Just because Rodney Elliott brought money back to the district, it doesn't mean that neither I nor Joe cannot do the same thing. I have the interest of the district at heart. I want to make sure that the city of Lowell is funded properly. But remember, Eric, $57.7 billion, and they voted to increase $3.2 billion. And none of that money come to the city of Lowell. Rodney Elliott voted for that. Did he ask to get money for the city of Lowell? I don't think so. And if you do, I will publicly issue an apology and respectfully call you that you are correct, that Rodney Elliott voted to bring more money out of that $3.2 billion to the city of Lowell.
Going to give Eric the final word here, and then we're going to turn the page.
Sam, the smoke and mirrors that you're running from, you moved to Lawrence, you moved out of Lowell, you tell us how much you love Lowell, you're not even on the ballot because you didn't want to do it, you're just looking to turn over the talking points, and you can anybody who's a voter can see what you're up to. I wish you the best, but I think like everyone else, there is no way that this is going to happen for you, and we need what is right for the city of Lowell, and you're not the right person for that.
Eric, thank you so much. I appreciate your endorsement or the lack thereof, but I'm going to prove you wrong. And then you and I going to be working together. I am as a state senator, you as the mayor of Lowell, and I guarantee you that we will win. The people here are my message loud and clear. Rodney failed to vote to audit the state legislature, and no one, not even a Democrat, will vote for that.
Eric, are you good?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you,
Eric.
Mr. Mayor.
Take care, Eric.
Back over to you guys. Thanks.
I appreciate it when he calls in, though. It's beautiful.
We do
Oh,
call it, but
he's got guts.
You got no, I respect him.
not
I mean,
shy.
I don't know him a lot about Eric, but hey, it is okay. He's a big boy, so am I. He can call me all he wants. I mean, Eric needs to be educated about the requirement to run for the state legislature.
I'm going to tell one of the classiest stories again. A politician, Barry Feingold, was the state senator. He represented Draker for about 10 years in the
Correct.
redistricting.
Before the
So
recess.
Barry, I was always a supporter of Barry's because of my friend Fred Simon. Joe Espinola ran against Barry Feingold.
Right.
I called Barry and said, Barry, I've been friends with Joe forever, unfortunately. And Fine Gold says to me, you should be with your friend. That's it. And there's nothing wrong with supporting friends. He said, I have no hard feelings. You've supported me in every election. After that, I supported him in every election. But that's class. You can support a friend. I mean, you know, Marty and I went to St. Peter's together. Who else would I support if he was running for anything? You know, so that's. I don't think there's anything wrong with friends supporting friends for political office. You know.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. People vote on who they know.
Yeah.
I tell people up in Belvedere, if you're going to run, go to church. There's I don't know how 600, 700, 800 people there every week. Well, do I have to be religious to run? No, but they see you. They become comfortable with you.
Yeah.
My wife and I went to St. George's Church. I don't go to the.
Right.
I didn't.
Right.
I did for a long time, but my wife is Orthodox, so
Sure.
we go to 2 different churches. But the point is, it's not always friends. It's just people seeing you, becoming comfortable with you. And that helps on the ballot.
Dick Howe was at the 4 o'clock mass at St. Margaret's every Saturday. Dick Howe was always Dick Howe Senior.
Right.
You know, yeah.
I was always told to win on the city council, you wanted the Dick Howe vote. And I would ask the old timers, what's the Dick Howe vote? Well, you get 9. The Dick Howe vote is number 5. People usually vote 5 people.
Yeah.
Dick was always the question on the council. He would question everything. So you would vote people, you know, your friends. Oh, wait a minute, there's Dick Howe. He does a great job. Boom. And he did do a great job. And you would get the Dick Howe vote. And so there's nothing wrong with friendships or reaching out. You're reaching out to the community now to get the vote. Like I said, Rodney and I, we were always on 2 different sides. I have a great deal of respect for Rodney, and I like him personally. And one of the things I like is he'll tell you right up front, this is what I'm going to do. And to me, that was always...
And John calls it the Wayback Machine, but Brendan Fleming and Phil Shea never got along in the city council. Phil Shea's first vote for mayor was Brendan Fleming.
Yeah.
It was just, they didn't get along, and they'd walk out of that council chamber and have a coffee or a beer or whatever they...
Can't take it personally.
No,
Yeah.
you can't. No, in politics you can't take it personally.
Sam, why don't you give yourself a little closer here for the next minute and a half or so? Good.
Thank you. Again, my name is Sam Meas. I'm running on a Republican, sticker campaign on February 3rd. Please give me an opportunity. If you're a registered Republican or unenrolled, pick up a Republican ballot and write my name down, Sam Meas, or just Sam M. That's it. That's the intent. I'm running because I want to have accountability on government on Beacon Hill or Bacon Hill. I'm running because I want to make Massachusetts more affordable. I will vote against any tax increase and fees. I will vote to get the audit the state legislatures. That's where we will find thousands and thousands of millions of dollars being used as waste, frauds, and abuse. Those net savings should and will be passed down as a rebate to the taxpayers, as well as the guarantee government aids to local and city and towns that we are sorely need right now. Thank you so much. Please afford me that opportunity. If I disappointed you from March 3rd to November, vote me out. You have nothing to lose. Give me a try. Thank you.
Which street do
We
you
only
live on
got
in Lawrence?
60 seconds here. So, Sam, you know you're coming tomorrow?
I'm sorry.
You're coming tomorrow at Linda Bound?
I am?
Yes, you are.
Oh, okay.
So you're on with Linda
Double
Bound.
header.
A double header.
Linda Bound tomorrow, and then I got some text. When is Senator Meas moving to the senatorial district?
So I'm going to answer you the quintessential politician, like a career politician would say that I will be moving to the senatorial district on or before election day, and I will have proof of that. And if you are registered Republican or unenrolled, one of the
This is my
600
favorite.
people.
We're running out of time, so
Okay.
my favorite radio guy. Too many people on the screen. Gary, I'll be listening to you in like 5
Oh, my
minutes.
God.
And
Yeah.
Tom, you want to read the last one?
Great show today. Good luck, Sam. Unfortunately, the Democrats have a death grip on power here in Massachusetts. You've got to be a Democrat or you can't be an independent. This place is a 3-ring circus. Lowell is run by the state, not the council. But
So time is, I think it's gone.
which street do you live on, Lawrence? So I can tell my wife she lives
We're only on
Genesee
YouTube,
Street.
only on YouTube and
Genesee.
Facebook right now.
Genesee.
So say goodbye, kids.
Good night.
Goodbye.
Sam, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I will see you tomorrow.